The Fushun War Criminals Management Center was the site of re-education for Manchukuo, Kuomintang and Japanese prisoners of war captured at the end of World War II, and held by China from 1950 onwards. It was located in the Xinfu district in Fushun, in China's Liaoning province. Among the most famous inmates was Pu Yi, the last emperor of Imperial China, and the former puppet emperor of Manchukuo. Part of the prison site is still in use, but the older sections of the building has been turned into a museum depicting the history of the center and the lives of the staff and inmates. The prison was originally built in 1936 by the Japanese occupation forces. At the end of World War II, the USSR had overrun the Japanese puppet state of Manchukuo and had captured government officials and military personnel, Chinese collaborators and Japanese alike. These prisoners were held near Khabarovsk, in the Soviet Far East. In late 1949, and early 1950, the Chinese sent delegations to the USSR headed by PATH chairman Mao Zedong, where they negotiated the extradition of the prisoners of war to China. Chinese Premier Zhou Enlai instructed the Northeast Judicial Department to make preparations for handling the war criminals. Liaodong Provincial No. 3 Prison, on the northern edge of the city of Fushun, was chosen for conversion into the new War Criminals Management Center. The first trainload of prisoners arrived in Fushun Station at 3 p.m. on Friday, July 21, 1950. They were then transferred to the prison by bus. In this first trainload there were 969 Japanese prisoners, along with 71 prisoners from the Manchukuo regime. The inmates of the Fushun War Criminals Management Center were subject to intense sessions of thought reform, which reportedly caused suicides. After their political rehabilitation, the prisoners were released and sent back to Japan in an attempt to start a communist revolution in Japan. Alongside the prisoners from World War II, were those who were captured during the last stages of the Chinese Civil War, that ended in 1949. Throughout 1956, trials of the Japanese prisoners began, and between 1956 to 1964, the Japanese prisoners were all released, and or repatriated. Between 1959 and 1975, the Manchukuo and Kuomintang prisoners received special pardons and were released in stages. The center was converted to a museum and opened to the public in 1986, and was listed as a major historical and cultural site protected at the national level in 2006.